Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
Hi, Jay Fallon. Thanks for listening to The Slippery Slope. So if you're living in Queensland, which is just happens to be the greatest state, not just within Australia, in the world, take my word for it, happens to be the state where I live in. If you happen to be living here, well, then you will know that our Premier, Annastacia Palaszczuk, pulled a pin on her political career last night, I believe it was. She believes she is leaving behind a great legacy. She states that the state of Queensland is running in good form, and she's leaving it in great health. This is what she believes. I think she's caused a lot of problems throughout her career, a lot more than you could even. I had no idea how she kept getting voted in. She really saved the Labor Party when they were at the very lowest that they could go here in Queensland, turned it around. I think it might have been kind of her girl next door attitude that she first came along with, and then for some reason we kept voting for her. When I say we, I mean other people out there, because I didn't want a part of her. She made a fool of Queenslanders when it came to the COVID period and what she did with the borders, locking down the borders, keeping families separated. But at the same time, I believe she allowed herself to go to Japan, was it, for a trip? She also allowed sports people to come in because, heaven forbid, we could, have one rule for everyone. I think it was the NRL grand final or something, the families of NRL. I mean, we love our footy, but why on earth should the football players or the football players' family have been given special exemptions, and yet we had families literally living only kilometers apart down on the Queensland New South Wales border? They weren't allowed to come across. Families who were just shut off. Forget about it if you lived over in Western Australia and you need to come over because you had that dictator, McGowan, ruling with an iron fist over in Western Australia, and then you had our lovely Annastacia ruling with an iron fist here in Queensland, allowing the Queensland police commissioner to bring in COVID mandates. She was someone who she started off extremely popular. I found she had no backbone. She really didn't seem to stand for anything in particular. She seemed to like the limelight. Seemed to go to a lot of red carpet events. Really liked the limelight. She got the new boyfriend a little while ago, the surgeon, and mate, her head just did not seem to be in the game ever since he came on aboard. Like I said, she seemed to make a real mess of some of the issues when it came to COVID, a mockery of some of the things when it came to COVID. I think, as much as she may believe that she's got her legacy is extremely good, I think people are going to be looking back at this time frame and realizing just what a poor job she did. I'm going to read a couple of comments. That came across from our listeners who seem to be all over. One says that I think Anna was given the option of the noose or the plank. It was only last week that Anna stated that I'll be finishing my term and leading the party into the next election. And she took the plank option. And what I think they're talking about here is it seemed pretty obvious that Anastasia's popularity had plummeted. And her popularity was the only thing that was keeping her in power, because it's not even her side of the Labor Party that were ruling that had the power. She's, I believe, on the supposed righter side of politics. It's the left side of the Labor Party that's running things at the moment, really. And she's really just a figurehead, but she had no power. She didn't really stand for anything. This other listener said New South Wales, Northern Territory, WA, Victoria, all shock resignations. Can't vote them out, yet here we are. Look, Dan Andrews resigned just a couple of, was it a month ago or so? He's another one. His legacy is atrocious, and yet he kept getting voted in. These people were getting voted in back in when everyone was living in fear, the fear that they kept announcing that we had to be fearful of COVID, and then they got voted back in. And we've seen now that people like Dan Andrews and Annastacia Palaszczuk, their popularity was plummeting. And so they've chosen to pull the pin, thinking they'll go out on their terms. Really, they could see the writing on the wall. So the last comment I was going to read was from Man of Faith Ministries. He said, because Annastacia said she's leaving the state in good shape. Like he said, that narcissistic comment shows all and sundry just how much this woman is detached from reality. Talking about detached from reality, like I mentioned before, she kept showing up for these red carpet events. Everyone was seeing her just traveling all over the world, going to all these red carpet events here in Queensland and that. And it seemed like you're sitting there going, who's actually running the state here? Who's doing the job? I think she'd pulled the pin a while ago. She had the new boyfriend for a while now, and she was more interested in him than anything else. Anyway, he goes on to say the reporter called her a trailblazer in the lead-in, but I would be more inclined to say arsonist who set the fire of destruction and then leaves the aftermath for everyone else. I agree with you, Man of Faith. Definitely the arsonist. She caused so many problems in her leaving. I don't think, in reality, I think it's going to be one of those situations where when she's gone, people are going to realize just how many issues she caused. Like what's happening now in Victoria with Dan Andrews. They're looking back thinking he politicized that state, the police, so badly. She's done exactly the same thing here, just with a bit of a nicer smile on her face. That's about all she's done. So obviously we have to get a new leader for the Labor Party and a new premier, which I hate this fact that they can pull the pin and then we just end up with a new leader like this. Anyway, but who's it going to be? That lady Fentiman, the one who says, that if a man stands up and says he's a woman, well, then we all have to believe it. She doesn't come across as the, what can I say? That's kind of nice. I don't think she's the most fit person, put it that way. Stephen Miles. Wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him, to be quite frank. But that's probably due to some other biases I have. But that's probably going to be our choice between them two, really. And I don't trust either of them. Anyway, let's see how it all works out. Let me know what you think about Annastacia Palaszczuk leaving, pulling the pin on being a premier of the great state of Queensland. And do you think she's left the state in good shape? That's the question. I think in the future, they're going to be looking back at Annastacia Palaszczuk and not judging her with the fondness that she believes she'll be judged with. Anyway, that's just my opinion. You let me know what you think. Thank you for listening to The Slippery Slope.
They just fuel the desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire because nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna stop me now. No more deals to be done. Nothing's gonna just focus on me goal. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Nothing's gonna hold me down. Got my eye on the prize. Got my eye on the prize.